Hey everyone, welcome back to Mama's Fluent English. I'm Melanie. Today we're diving into a topic that I am incredibly passionate about because it's something I'm actively doing right now in my own life. We're going to talk about how to create an immersion environment right in your own home. You don't need a plane ticket to an English speaking country to become fluent. You just need a solid blueprint for your daily life. If you have been following my journey, you know that I am currently learning Polish. And let me tell you, when I first started, it was overwhelming. It felt like I was staring at a massive, impenetrable brick wall. I'd look at a page of text or listen to people talking in Polish, and my brain would just shut down. I think a lot of you felt that way with English when you first started. Maybe you still feel that way sometimes. Like there's a barrier between you and the meaning of the words. One of the biggest mistakes I made early on was trying to force immersion by listening to native level Polish audiobooks and podcasts while I did my chores. I thought if I heard enough, I'd eventually pick it up. But because I didn't have a foundation yet, it was just a wall of noise. When your brain can't identify a single word, it eventually just tunes it all out. This isn't learning, it's just background noise. To actually improve, your input has to be comprehensible. You need to understand at least the major points of what's being discussed. Look at this puzzle on the screen. This is the perfect metaphor for learning language. If you try to force a piece of advanced grammar or a high level movie into your brain before you're ready, it's not going to click. It won't fit. You see the shape between this piece and the whole do not match. Don't be hard on yourself if a video or a grammar concept is beyond you right now. It's not a failure on your part. It's just a sign that you need to find a piece that's at your current level. Okay, let's talk about some practical steps for how you can build an English home. Step one is the tech flip. Most of us spend hours on our phone every day. If your phone is in your native language, that's wasted immersion time. Go into your settings right now and switch your entire operating system to English. You already know where settings, edit, and share buttons are by memory. So seeing the English words will reinforce that vocabulary every single time you pick up your phone. In addition to changing your settings, for many of the apps you use, you will also have to manually change the language in those. They won't often switch when you just change your phone settings. Change as many apps as you can to English. If they're apps you use often, you will know by the visuals what each of the buttons are. And seeing those English words will reinforce that vocabulary every time you use your phone. Tip number two is dedicating time each day to visual immersion. This is where you really sit down and engage with the language. Whether you're watching one of my videos or a Netflix movie you enjoy in English, make sure you're in an environment where you can focus. Don't put on a Netflix movie in English and start washing the dishes. Make sure you have some time where you can actually focus and make sure you're comprehending this visual immersion. Make sure you use the gestures. If you're watching one of my videos, I use hand motions and also the visual context in order to help you understand. It's okay if you don't understand every word. That is how you learn. Your brain maps the sounds of my talking to meaning when it sees the visuals. Next up is environmental immersion. I'm a huge fan of the Post-it note method. Label objects around your house. Any words you want to learn in English, find a place in your house to put a sticky note with a sentence or that word that will help you comprehend that word. So, for example, wash your hands. At an intermediate level, most of these should be phrases or sentences. But if there is vocabulary you need, you can also use the Post-it note for words like mirror if you don't have this vocabulary yet to help build your vocabulary. But a lot of times at the intermediate level, you're going to want something like, I'm looking in the mirror, or the mirror is clean, or the mirror needs to be cleaned, depending on your home. This will help you learn how sentences function together and not just the words in isolation. Tip 4 is all about curated audio. This is your passive input for when you're on the go, driving, exercising, cooking. The key here is to find content that is interesting but not stressful. If you have to strain to understand, you will get tired very quickly. Find a podcast or an audiobook where you can follow the main story comfortably, even if you don't understand every word. That is the sweet spot for intermediate growth. At the end of the day, it's all about routine. Reaching fluency isn't about studying for 5 hours straight. It's about small amounts of time throughout the day, every day. Maybe you spend 10 minutes reading in the morning before work, and at your morning break, you watch one of my videos. During lunch, maybe you listen to a podcast in English. And then later, while you're washing the dishes or cooking, you listen to more English. And it's really helpful before you sleep each night to review what you learned that day. If you're able to think again about what you read, what you watched, try to think about what you learned before you sleep, and that will help put it in your long-term memory. Don't worry about being perfect. Focus on consistency. You can do this. You are literally building a new version of yourself when you are learning a language. Every note you stick on a wall, every video you watch is a brick in your English home. Make sure you change those settings on your phone like I recommended. Use those sticky notes and make sure you're getting visual and audio input. Every day, be consistent. If you found these strategies helpful, please hit that like button. It really helps the algorithm show this video to other learners like you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please join our community so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Now, I have a question for you. What's one part of your house that you're going to label in English today? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.